Hello, Card Geeks. It is I, Nomah. I'm back with another captivating episode of The Card Geeks with my co-chief card geek, Hoosier. How you doing today, buddy?
I am fantastic. I think that we have a great episode ahead of us. It is very controversial, and I'm ready to play the Stephen A. Smith in this conversation because I have a lot of honest opinions.
Yeah, today I'm Carl Ravitch and you're Stephen A. Smith. I'm going to be cool and collected and chill, and you're going to be just dropping truth bombs left, right, and center, saying controversial things. So without further ado, we are going to talk to you guys about a very controversial new product which is out. We pride ourselves on giving you guys neutral reviews on these products. We do not get paid either way to endorse or slag on any product. Some people accuse us of being too positive, some being too negative. That's just because, just like you, there's products we like and products we don't. So this is a product that we are not too crazy about. Hoosier is more up in arms about it than I am, but we're going to give you guys our honest opinion and let's just dive in. So, Hoosier, what is the product that we are reviewing today?
So, we are going to be reviewing the ever controversial Repack. Now, we're not talking about the little mystery grab bags at your LCS. We're not talking about the little lower end stuff that you can find on eBay. No, what we're specifically addressing is these higher end graded card repacks from very large companies and very large breakers. As you can see, we put up the We the Hobby series that they have. You've probably seen it on Instagram where they open it and they pull it and it's a big card and they have like a crazy celebration with like unicorns and confetti going off and all that good stuff. This has become a massive part of the sports card industry. I don't want to call it part of the hobby. I don't think that this should be included as part of the hobby. It feels more like part of the hustle and part of the industry. And I'm already raring to go. But before we really get into it, I want to say that I'm not here to drag any company or breaker, but I want to give my honest opinion and my honest perspective on what I've seen, with especially going to the national and seeing this type of stuff really pushed to a young audience.
Absolutely. Well, and two, I think you made a very important distinction, which is the hobby versus the industry. So there is no industry without the hobby. There is no hobby without the industry. But
Right.
we're just normal guys who like to rip and like to collect and like to trade and like to PC. And we don't do this for a living. You're a full-time graduate student. I
Mm-hmm.
have a consulting practice. Like we are busy, we do other things. We raise our kids, we hang out with our wives, like we do other stuff. So we purely do this for fun. And I don't know about you, but every single dollar that I make off my channel, be it from super chats or patrons or YouTube members or whatever, it literally just goes back to buying product for me to open on the channel to
Right.
entertain everyone with. So we're not doing this for anything other than our own enjoyment and our own amusement. And I think you're making an excellent point, which is that we are suspicious. And again, we're not talking about repacks that you get at your LCS because that's just their way of, letting go of their over commitment to various products. When you buy a collection, the good cards go in the glass case, the bad cards, what are you going to do with them? Or the commons. And I've had fun doing LCS repack
Yeah.
openings. You can sometimes get something decent in there and it is fun. And we really strongly feel that the hobby should be fun. But what we're talking about is high volume breakers, high leverage, high cost repacks where yes, you can hit a grail card and yes, you can hit a unicorn card, but it's just simple math. They are putting less value into the repack than you're getting when you buy it. And so we did an episode once about whether card collecting is gambling. A lot of people think that it is. I personally do not, unless you're spending money on a product you don't even like. Like if I buy a really high-end football product hoping to hit a Pat Mahomes, I can probably name five current football players, and Pat
Right.
Mahomes is one of them. I'm not a football guy. And so that is gambling because I'm
Right.
not doing it for the enjoyment of it. I'm not doing it for the connection with my community or to be able to trade or be able to go get the card signed, which is what I do with my baseball cards. So for me, it's not a gamble as long as I'm staying within my budget. Am I happy that I hit a good card? Yes. But also, literally, as we're recording this, my iPad is on top of my trade box. That's how it's holding it up to get this nice angle of me. And like it's full of cards that I've pulled that I want to trade people. And it's not, for me, it's not about gambling. It's about connecting with you and my other friends in the hobby. But it's kind of hard from what we're gathering to view these particular products as anything but gambling. So tell us
Right.
a little more about why it is that we feel that way.
Yeah. So, just to break it down really quick, repacks are essentially curated packs of multiple cards or single cards. Usually, they're not even from a sealed box. They're usually assembled from various sources like collections being purchased at large shows, aftermarket purchases, or even other repacks. So, repackers, they'll gather the cards, sort them, package them in new containers, often with a mix of common cards, inserts, parallels, and sometimes autographs. That's usually what you see at like your LCS. This specifically, what we're talking about is more of like the single graded card repack. Um, so the risks and the intention is what really kind of disturbs me about this whole big movement, because these have exploded in popularity. There are big companies that just solely do repacks, and we're going to talk about those in a little bit. And I even have some videos for us to react to that I thought were very interesting.
Nice.
Watching the people, opening them and the reaction, I think that that's going to be pretty interesting. But one of the biggest issues is that many of these repacks, they lack true transparency, and even a checklist,
Mm,
which creates the perception among collectors that the chase cards might have never been in there to
mm,
begin with. Now, again, I want to say that I'm not accusing anybody, not accusing any company of doing this. But as we've talked about before, if you go on Whatnot, if you go on eBay, there's no way to actually determine if they say, hey, we have this, Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie in a PSA 10. That's like one of the chase cards. There's no way for you to actually know if they have that and have actually inserted that in the mystery packs, and they're just offloading all of these cards that they don't want
hmm
with the idea that there's a big chase hit. There's no way to actually know.
hmm hmm Yeah. Well, and again, we're not saying that they don't put them in. We're just saying that there's no way to safeguard or have any accountability, which is a little bit of a buyer beware kind of situation.
Right. Yeah. And this is kind of what has brought upon the speculation that repacks are simply just a form of unregulated gambling.
hmm
Um, People who are opening these, you're not opening them to really collect the card. You're chasing a high end, high dollar card that is all about the monetary value that you're probably going to flip, or trade or do whatever with. It's every time I see someone open one of these packs, immediately it's okay. We're down this amount of money. We're down this. Like
hmm
we need to buy another one to make our money back. And that sounds like the guy at the blackjack table, who's down and out. It just to me, it doesn't seem like it's anything other than unregulated gambling.
It reminds me of the guy at my local grocery store who's constantly feeding bills into the lottery machine.
Yeah, absolutely. And many of these cards that are being pulled, they're nowhere near the value of the repack.
hmm
And that is on purpose. That the
hmm
people who are making these, they are doing this as a form of business, and they're doing this in a way to maximize profit. They're not going to be making any money if you're getting your money back on almost every card, right?
Yeah.
They're buying these cards for pretty cheap. They're putting good cards in there to get you to chase, and most of the time you're not going to make your money back whatsoever. So it's not, in my opinion, this is the exact opposite of what collecting should be. And I think that the greed and the idea that you can make a ton of money doing this has started to consume um, the industry with this type of business practice, and that's why it's being pushed so heavily, is because these guys are making a ton of money off of these products.
Yeah. So what is the difference between Topps making or Panini making a bunch of money off of all of us and these guys repacking and making money off of their buyers in your mind?
So in my opinion, when you go to buy a box of sports cards, you're doing it for the purpose of collecting them, right? You're also doing it for the purpose of, you don't know what you can pull. You know that there's odds to pull something cool, right? So that is a form of a gamble. But like if you're opening, just say, Topps update to, collect all the good rookies that you're wanting to collect, at the end of the day, you're getting cards, you're opening them, the odds are displayed. You're getting more than just one single card that is supposed to, you know, guarantee a specific value,
Hmm.
in my opinion. So I think that it's different in the sense of the mindset. I think that this could be comparable to very high end sets, like you said, that are just more of a gamble. Like, you don't buy Topps tier one to get a bunch of crappy autographs, right? Because like we know it's a high end set. There's the potential to pull, Grail bat knobs and different things like that.
Sure.
Um, but I think also knowing that the card it's already been pulled, it's already been graded, by somebody else and then reinserted into a product, it just it doesn't entice me whatsoever, like I would, go to buy a sealed hobby box off the shelf.
There's no romance, there's no mystery, there's nothing but, like you said, the bottom line and profit. And of course, Topps and Panini make money selling us cards, but
Right.
there's sort of the idea that even if you're not going to make your money back on a typical hobby box, you're not necessarily looking for a return on investment. You're looking for a return on fun.
Right.
And shout out to our friend Sean for coming up with that verbiage because it's so good. But, it's, I like what you're saying in the sense that for me, it's the not knowing what's in there. It's the tactile sensation of shuffling the cards like when I was a kid. It's it's again like having patrons I'm sending cards to that I know it will bring them joy. It's being able to trade. It's being able to send you cards. Like I have a couple cards to show you at the end that I'm about to send you.
Right.
Being like, oh, Hoosier's going to love that card or whatever. And with this, it feels like, I mean, there's a reason why I don't tend to buy those high-end top boxes that just have one card or two cards in them.
Right.
Because for me, the ROF isn't there, and often the ROI isn't there. Sure, you can get some huge card, and you mentioned the bat knobs and stuff. I suppose if I were in a different financial league, maybe I would do more of that stuff because I
Yeah.
would think it would be fun, like to rip a whole case of it and just see some like huge card if you could afford that. But for me, it's like your odds are extremely low, and that, to your point, someone else has already handled these cards. They've already been graded. And yeah, you might hit a big card, but you really are gambling. I mean, like, what's the fun of it? As especially if you pull a card, let's say you pull a PSA 10 Pete Alonso 2019 rookie card, but it's
Yeah.
just the base card. It's worth what, 20 or 30 bucks? It's worth less than the grading fee.
Right.
And I collect Pete Alonso, so like, would I want that? I mean, I'm not really into graded cards as it is, so I'm probably not the target demographic for this product, but
Yeah.
I mean, would I be stoked about that? Not really, because how much do these packs cost typically?
So there's different levels. And I also wanted to say real quick before we play the video, because there's actually a video of them opening the different levels, and I kind of want to show you the cost of the pack versus what they get. I always like recommend never ever expect to make your money back when opening sports cards. I feel like that ruins so much of the fun, like you said. Because I feel like at the core of things, you're not doing it for the fun of opening cards. Now, I do agree that based on the price of certain products, you should expect a certain return in value, right? Like there should be a certain trade-off, like a numbered card or something like that. But never ever expect to make your money back. And this is exactly what these products are pushing. So we're gonna watch this video of these two guys who are famous influencers. You've probably seen them before. I'm sorry, I had to sit through and watch this video like 3 different times while trying to find it. So it's like nails on a chalkboard. It's horrific, okay? But I just want to show you, I thought this was a great example based on the reactions and all of this different stuff to show you guys. So
just so you guys know, I haven't seen this, so I'm going to be reacting in real time.
Real time. So brace yourselves. Here we go.
We're opening every level of Arena Club slab packs.
That's $1,900 in slab packs.
The total value could be up to $49,000. Time for Emerald.
So this Emerald pack is $500. Okay. And also, like, notice what they're saying. It's not like, oh, this is, because we love football cards or basketball cards. It's, we spent $1,900 and we could get $49,000 back in return. That's immediately, like immediately. It's not about collecting cards
out of the chute.
It's and this kid's 11, right? 12.
He's clearly a company shill. So we should also look into child labor laws regulating all this.
Yeah.
Grail in the Emerald is a Tom Brady flawless autograph PSA 10. Let's go, Emerald. Come on.
Let's go, Big Justice. What do we got here? Come on.
Come on. Let's get something big. Whoa! Rookie Jalen Waddle 10-10 autograph. Number to 35. All right, so we got numbered rookie auto. Not the best value-wise, but I love the player. Let's add it to the showroom. And now, on to Diamond.
Okay, so you just watched them open a $500 pack. I looked up the comps on that Jalen Waddle. The last one, I couldn't find one out of 35, but I found one out of 11 graded in a PSA 10 that sold for $250. Okay.
Yeah. Losing half the money. And I feel sick watching that just because the kid, I don't know what is the relationship between the kid and the dad in this company, but like the kid is enthused and that's cool. And like, I remember being enthused about cards when I was his age, but like, first of all, you're not even opening something. You're just clicking a button. Like, this feels to me like the slot machine at the casino.
Absolutely.
It's not even real.
It's all digital.
I mean, you can have them send you the card, or you can, as he said, add it to the showroom. But this feels very gross to me. I feel gross. I wish I hadn't eaten right before we recorded this.
I am sorry, but there's not that much left, but it gets worse. It gets worse. So
it's terrible.
Here we go.
And don't forget about the Arena Club buyback program, which offers 80% of the pack's retail value for up to 10 buyback opportunities.
Wait, so don't forget, guys, if you get absolutely smoked, they're going to offer 80% of that Jalen Waddle that's worth $250. So you're already out $250, and they'll give you $190 to buy the Jalen Waddle back so that you can then go and buy more and more packs.
Terrible. It's a great
to
business
try to hit
model.
the
It's a great business model. I mean, they
This
get
is
props
nuts.
if we take away ethics and take away, you know, preying on people's worst qualities. But hey, you know,
Dude, this is nuts. Like, how are people not like see? This is like insane to me. Like that last part. Hey, if you get smoked, if you're out $250, they'll buy it right back, so you can get account credit,
that's brutal.
so you can rip another one.
Brutal.
Let's keep going.
Now the big one, Diamond. And the grail in the Diamond is an SGA rookie autograph 9.5. Here we go.
Come on, let's go, Diamond.
Let's go.
The like $1,100.
Whoa!
My Trout rookie.
My Trout rookie!
Oh my.
A little light on the value, but still it's Trout. It'll look good in the showroom.
That's what we sit on. He's gonna make it to the Hall of Fame.
little light on the value.
Light on the value, but he's going to make the Hall of Fame. Well, he is going to make the Hall of Fame.
You know how much that Trout card is? Look right now on eBay.
9.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how much did they pay for that pack?
It was either $1,000 or $1,100 for the Diamond pack.
Well, sidebar, I know that Trout is very light on value right now, and I think when he makes it into the Hall of Fame, all his cards are going to stabilize and probably bump a little bit. So I don't think it's a bad idea to invest. He reminds me, and I know I'm going to get lit up in the comments for saying this, but it's true. He reminds me a little bit of Willie Mays, you know, just that 5-tool player, absolutely dominant, best player in the sport for many, many, many years. And then, you know, if you look at the back of Willie Mays' baseball card, the last few years of his career, he did tail off. Trout, obviously, you know, has tailed off. He's still good for 20 dingers, you know, in the 300 at-bats he gets every year, but he's not dominating like he was. I'm guessing that's like a $200 card, $300 card.
So it's actually $550.
Wow. All right. Well, better than I thought. It's a beautiful card. I actually don't have that one on my PC, and I've been thinking about trying to get one.
Me too.
So if anybody has one out there, get in touch with Hoosier and I and see which one of us will give you a better deal for it.
Yeah. So there we go. And it's like, I'm glad that they didn't like keep opening packs until they got something really good. Obviously, like that was a sponsored video, and it showed like a realistic side. That's a realistic outcome. That's why I chose that.
They're to be commended for that.
Right. And it's like at least like Arena Club, you see the checklist, you see the odds per card. The Grail cards are usually like a 0.05% to hit it, which
1 in 200.
Yeah. And that's not great when you're spending $1,000, right? That's your odds are not good.
No.
And I think that there's a reason why they put it as a percentage, not as you know, specific odds like 1 in 200. It's a 0.05%. I feel like that.
Let's talk about that for a second. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like,
no, go ahead.
Let's say that there is a 1 in 200. I'll just grab a card that's just laying nearby. Friend of the channel, friend of my channel, Nolan Jones. Let's just say that there is a 1 in 200 packs chance of hitting this card. It's a 1 of 1, which I know this one isn't, but just for the sake of argument. So there's a 1 of 1 in somewhere on those 200 packs. If you buy all 200, you're going to hit it. If you buy 100, you got a 50-50 shot, etc., right? There's something called the gambler's fallacy, which is that, you know, I've lost a bunch, so I'm due to win.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, when you play any gambling, your odds are just as good to win every single time because, as you just mentioned, when it's a machine rather than a physical, tangible thing that is in one of those packs, like someone's going to hit the golden logo man from every single, you know, guy that's in Topps Chrome with the golden logo man. It's a 1 of 1. It's incredibly low odds of hitting it. If you buy one pack, the gambler's fallacy actually doesn't completely apply because that pack is now off the rack. So technically speaking, your odds are infinitesimally higher of hitting it the second time. However, if I spend $500 on cards and get no good ones, and then I go buy $500 of cards again, that would be the gambler's fallacy. Like there's no possibility. I'm not more likely, oh, I haven't hit a big card in a while, I'm due to hit one. It's not true. It's a thinking error.
Right.
It's not actually how it works. But with digital gambling, like you have a 0.5% chance. That's technically a 1 in 200 chance, but it's 1 in 200 every single time. So if I buy 100 packs and I haven't hit the thing, and I know it's a 1 in 200 chance, now it's a 1 in 100 chance. I open 50 more packs and still now it's a 1 in 50 chance. So it is actually true with a tangible asset that the gambler's fallacy doesn't always apply. But with something like that, where the computer is just, there's some AI that just randomly assigning what card it is. And in theory, if it's not rigged, 1 in 200 times, it should spit out a good card.
Right.
But then it might just do it again and then not do it for another 400 times. Because it's not just 1 in 200, it's 2 in 400, it's
Right.
3 in 600, it's 5 in 1,000. So it might do the 5 one right in a row and then 995 don't hit. So, and again, we're not accusing them of rigging it. It probably is legit. I mean, somebody hits these cards because if people weren't hitting them, they wouldn't keep playing the game because it is a game they're playing. But those kinds of odds, when it's not an actual tangible thing and it's actually just a roll of the dice, literally, I agree that this definitely crosses the line into gambling.
Yeah.
And see, I said I was going to be all chill and neutral, but like I'm just as Stephen A on this as you are. Like this is nonsense. And if you want our advice, which if you're this far into the episode, you obviously like us and what we're saying, we would stay away from this kind of thing because it's, first of all the graphics and stuff. As a former addictions counselor myself, I'm looking at that. It's all designed to get the dopamine going in your brain, and it's no different than, I mean, this is a family-friendly channel, but you know, there's certain forms of adult entertainment that I will not name right now that are very highly addictive to the brain. You know, obviously gambling is, watching certain kinds of content as well. I think you guys know what I'm talking about
too. Yeah.
And it's literally like, it's like doing hard narcotics to what it does to the brain. And so I suspect, I could be wrong, and I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but I suspect there's enough money and intent behind these products that they have probably done enough research. They've got a behavioral psychologist or somebody on their staff. And again, this is my field, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. They've hired someone to, probably they've beta tested it as well with subjects of like, what is going to make me want to do it again? And the way that the pack unfolds and the music and the reveal and all that, it is just like, I don't go to casinos, but occasionally I go to a conference that's in a casino, or I go to a conference that's in a casino, and you walk through the casino and you see what people are doing. By the way, I don't say that, it's not that I'm too good to go to a casino, it's just that I'm a person in recovery, and if I hang out in casinos, I'll start gambling because that's just how my mind works. But I don't judge people who go to casinos, but when I walk through them, it's like horrifying, and that's why people look like zombies just hitting the thing, because of the way that it hits your brain and the dopamine cycle. So this to me looks like very dangerous. Stay away from it. You're probably not going to hit those big cards, and if you do hit the big cards, you're probably going to be enticed. Just take the 80%, you know, value and just circle back and keep playing, because that's what they want you to do. And just like, by the way, you're watching this, you guys are probably either streaming this on Spotify or watching on YouTube. And if you are watching on YouTube, by the way, the YouTube algorithm is designed to just keep you watching YouTube all day. And I love YouTube. I mean, YouTube has introduced us and allowed us to be friends. And I watch YouTube a lot, and I play games on YouTube. YouTube is a huge part of my life. But I have to like set timers and stuff to like keep myself attuned to the fact that the algorithm is trying to just keep feeding me content that I will watch. It doesn't care if I'm watching Hoosier or Nomah or Card Geeks or Jeff Wilson or whomever, or not about baseball at all. It just wants me to keep watching. And that thing that you just showed me is 1,000% designed to just keep people playing.
Absolutely.
It's not designed to have you be like, oh, well, you know, I spent my budget and I'm good. It's designed to have you stay hooked.
Now, speaking of Jeff Wilson, this is going to be one of our last segments. But I think that this is a very interesting conversation piece. So Jeff Wilson actually recently announced that Sports Card Investor has partnered with PSA to do the first PSA verified repacks. Okay. Now what they're doing is they are addressing the transparency issues. Each card is graded and packed by PSA. It doesn't go through any sort of third party. Jeff Wilson specifically said that they wanted to have a live checklist. So whenever cards are pulled, or whenever you buy the product, you can look at the checklist and see what's on there. They also have transparent odds, which I think that is great. Don't get me wrong, I think that it is good, but ultimately my opinion on this move here is that Jeff Wilson he's very smart, he's very business savvy, and I think that he saw that there was lots of money on the table, and that's what led to his partnership with PSA, and to make this product. And I don't think he said that it is forever going to change the hobby. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't dislike Jeff Wilson, but the way that it was kind of gone about, and I witnessed people buying it at the National, and just again it was just like cards that couldn't be moved off the showroom floor just got put into this fancy, single case with all the gems and the certified PSA thing on it. And it just, again, it just, everything about it just hits me the wrong way, like it just, I commend the integrity of having the checklist and the odds, but I think that, and this is not just Jeff Wilson, this is like almost every major breaker and sports card influencer. That's why be careful who you follow and who you listen to. Take the good and leave the bad. You don't have to be like, oh, Jeff Wilson like came out with graded grails, now I'm never gonna watch Sports Card Investor again. No, you can have your opinion and disagreements. Like I still watch his content. I don't dislike him as a person, but I wholeheartedly disagree with this type of product, and I just think that it's a way to capitalize on the current market.
So I do like this better than the other products, because this to me is like you have a tangible. It looks to me like this is like a package that you open.
It's a physical package.
So that to me is kind of like, if you're really into numbered cards or graded cards, and if you even like to trade graded cards, and if you want to gamble on this, it's like I buy a fair number of cards from David Adams, and David Adams sometimes will have like these repacks that they'll do, or you can buy like a mystery bat or a mystery ball or mystery, like I have a Wade Boggs batting helmet that I got, like mystery batting helmet. Like, again, like if you want to do that, that's cool. What I don't like about the other one is that you never are holding the item in your hand, which makes it much easier to just sell it back to them. And the way that you just click a button and it does all of that whiz bang, again, I think is kind of addictive to the brain.
Right.
This seems like, it's just do you have ROF by buying 10 of these because you just love graded cards and you might get a really good one? Maybe so. Is PSA going to in any way, like, I think there's potentially a little bit of a conflict of interest in that PSA is supposed to be an objective grading service, but now they're selling graded cards. Like, is it going to make them want to give it a 10 instead of a 9? I don't know. I'm not accusing them of that. I'm not saying they would do that. I'm just saying it is a conflict of interest. Now, that having been said, I run into conflict of interest in my work all the time. Like just the other day, someone was approaching me about like helping them evaluate a company that I have equity in. So it's kind of like, well, yes, I can do that for you, but like, I also like need to name that I want you to, make a transaction because that will be good for me. So like, I just have to name it. But conflict of interest, they kind of make the world go round in a certain way. And obviously there's ones that are extremely unethical and extremely wrong. I mean, it's like it says PSA right on there. So like
Yeah.
they are definitely calling out the conflict of interest.
Right.
I just don't know. But I mean, this is why I don't like to mess around with grading services. Anyway, Jeff himself and his boy Teapot have
Yep.
both recently done very interesting videos on the shenanigans that go on with grading companies and how inconsistent the different grading companies are, and even the same grading company can be. So like, I just think it's kind of like, this is not a product that I'm going to buy because I don't like graded cards. And I also don't like one card products, as I mentioned earlier. But this one I don't have nearly as big a problem with as the last one.
Yeah.
I should probably wrap.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I still overall disagree with it, but I do agree with you that it is a physical product. The transparency is nice, and I think that it provides a better aspect of accountability. Being able to be like, hey, like I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna get it in the mail, I'm gonna open it, so on and so forth. Apart from the digital marketplace. So that's going to wrap up our episode for this week. I want to thank you all for tuning in. The consensus is that we are collectors through and through. We enjoy opening hobby boxes and sealed product. We enjoy the not knowing aspect of sealed boxes, but there is a major difference between buying a repack and hoping for a monster life-changing hit than going to your LCS and getting a box of baseball cards to enjoy opening. So that's my ultimate viewpoint and decision. If you guys have different conflicting opinions or maybe even personal experiences with these repacks, definitely let us know down in the comments. We appreciate every single one of you. And I'm just so thankful to be able to get on here and talk about the crazy stuff that goes on within the hobby.
It's always super fun. And let's start with the controversy of you as a huge Cubs fan wearing a Brewers hat. What is the deal with the Brewers hat, brother?
Yeah, so we went to the Brewers game, you and I, watched the Cubs play the Brewers, and I absolutely love going to American Family Field. So I actually went again to see the Brewers play the Pirates. That's when they won their 12th in a row. And I just love this Brewers team. I know that it's sacrilegious to say they're in the NL Central. I know they play against my Cubs. They're about to start the 5-game series, but I love the blue collar aspect of this team. There's no Fernando Tatis Juniors. There's no Juan Sotos. You got guys like Andrew Vaughn, Sal Frelick. They show up. They do their job. They're probably the best team. Just cohesive. Chemistry wise, they're incredible. So I had to pick up a hat while I was there.
And you got to love the Miz also. We talked about him on our All-Star Snubs podcast.
Yeah, he's exciting. You can't deny it. Love him or hate him, he's exciting. He's going to be hopefully vicious for a long time. So you can't, I don't know. I can't hate this Brewers team.
Well, okay, so you guys have learned the controversy of the Brewers hat. And interestingly enough, I have Brewers cards. I'm sending Hoosier this card, which I just pulled, which is the Topps logo fractor of his lookalike, Nestor Cortez, as well as the Dansby Swanson, which we got his autograph at the game that we went to together. And I have a giveaway for you guys as well. Fans of my channel know that I like to do giveaways. So I'm sending this one to you, but I'm sending this one to one of our lucky fans. This is the base of Nasty Nestor. And I don't know if you guys can see what he's saying, don't buy repacks, because I think that is the conclusion that we have drawn today.
Yep, absolutely.
So all you have to do is send the code word repack to me at NomahLovesYah@gmail.com. Please include your full name and address and which card I'm sending you, and the first person to do that will get that card. Well, I think this has been a tremendous episode, my friend. How about you?
Absolutely. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this. Definitely let me know let us know what you think in the comments. We want to hear your feedback because you are the hobby. You are the driving force of the collecting community. So sound off in the comments. As always, thank you, buddy, for doing the show with me. I had an absolute blast.
As did I, as always. And everybody, make sure you're subscribed to Hoosier's channel, my channel, and this channel so that you can stay connected with us and we can keep bringing you all kinds of baseball card goodness. In the meantime, keep on
ripping.
ripping.
Thanks, guys.